The audacity of this woman. She lies about everything. All her posts are lies to clickbait people into looking at it, and then she gets mad at them if they think that she's actually taking the drugs that she says she's taking. You're a friggin' girl. You're 22. Wake the fuck up. Coach Greg, and in case you didn't already realize this, many teenagers, and this includes women, are using steroids. And not only that, they're actually glorifying it. Case in point, Olivia Buzalak. I don't know if this is a coincidence, but she's friends with Togi. And so the Togi effect, it's running wild. And so essentially, here's the thing. She's posted videos of herself on Instagram for several years, and none of them went viral. No one cared. She was in the gym, she was training, and she'd been doing so for 3 years. Then suddenly, she had enough. And so it says, from a little town in the middle of nowhere to the Hollywood Hills, gearheads, gamblers, and degens. All right, and so we can see here, we've got photos of Togi, and so she's hanging out with Togi. And in case you have never known this, Togi, he promotes and uses steroids. And so you never know who it's going to affect. You might think it's innocent and that no one's going to follow in your footsteps, but we now even have teenage women doing the same thing. One thing you better not do is do anything with her raw, or you're getting the R. Rar. Don't go raw on this woman. You know that with chlamydia. Is this where Togi got chlamydia? Togi! Say it isn't so! Was this the two you were talking about that nobody knows about? Togi. Run gear, get jacked, and drink tequila. I mean, does this not sound like Togi? So run gear, take poison, and drink poison. 174 likes, so almost none. From a woman to get that few simps. I mean, if you're a woman and you can only get 174 likes, you blew it. You blew it in life. You look happier. Thanks. I quit dating white monsters and started drinking them instead. This is her channel. This is what you watch. And thankfully, she only has 2,000 followers. I stopped dating white Caucasian monsters and I just started drinking white monsters instead. I mean, it's somewhat funny, but like, hey, if you don't want to date white monsters, why don't you attract black men or perhaps Asians or whatever? Try again. You're a young woman. Is this all because of a man? A man dated you, what? They cheated on you and then you had to resort to taking steroids? Ew. I couldn't get a man to love me and so I resorted to steroids and I now go to the gym. You're a friggin' girl. You're 22. Wake the fuck up. I started this journey at 108 pounds. I've been consistently in the gym for 3 years before making the decision to begin a cycle. Wow, you know, she's been in the gym for 3 years. She started training at 16. She's now 19. And so, oh my goodness. I mean, I waited. I put in the work. You know, I've been grinding for years. I don't know what happened, but in 2025, people seem to think that they've been through life, they've done the whole thing, that they've experienced everything, but they've barely had time to work out. Like training from 16 to 19, I started training at 10, and I can't imagine already starting steroids at only 19. And I started when I was 10. She started at 16. She's a woman. She's 19 years of age. And if you look at her physique at 108 pounds, all I see is a girl that's not eating enough. I mean, let's watch this again.
Steroids are amazing, and here's how I know.
Steroids are amazing, and here's how I know. Why? By showing a photo of yourself when you're overly lean. I mean, look at the condition of her legs. Women aren't meant to have legs that look like that unless they're on a very serious diet. These are not normal looking quads. And so frankly, she has a way above average looking physique. Her starting point after only training for a couple of years is way above average. However, I do think she's probably underfed. She looks very lean. And so she says steroids are amazing. Why? Did they convince her to eat? Did the steroids make her have a burger to be in a calorie surplus? Because when I look at the before and after, I don't see a girl that put on a shit ton of muscle. I see a girl that ate and gained some fat. Of course, some muscle went with that.
I think I weighed like 108 pounds here. This is my most recent, physique.
And so she put on 50 pounds. 50, not 15, but 50. Did she need to gain 50 pounds? I don't think so. Clearly, it wasn't 50 pounds of muscle. A lot of this was fat. And of course, the steroids did in fact help her. But eating in a surplus would have helped her. Turk Builder Max would have helped her. There's a whole bunch of natural things she could have done that would have helped her. I would say eating the main one.
A lot of people tell me, oh, well, you could have had the same physique, naturally.
No, she couldn't have had the same physique naturally. Just because a physique is attainable naturally doesn't mean that she could have done it naturally. Her first cycle was 5 milligrams of Anavar for 8 weeks, and her second cycle was 10 milligrams of Anavar for 8 weeks. You really think she could just not take Anavar and get the exact same amount of gains by being natural versus enhanced? Of course not. Now, is it possible that eventually she could have gotten that physique perhaps 5 years later? Yes. But she wanted it right now.
Sure, I could have. However, I didn't want to wait the amount of time it would have taken. And also, I just wanted a fat ass. Okay, so you don't need steroids, you don't need Turk, you need food. To get a fat ass, you need to eat in a surplus. It's really that simple. What was your cycle? First cycle, 5 milligrams of Anavar, 8 weeks on, 20 weeks off. Second is 10 milligrams Anavar, 1 IU of HGH and Clen. Same time frame. See, I don't understand why people are all using Clen. All you have to do is not eat the burgers in the first place, and you don't need the Clen to burn that fat off. It makes way more sense to use GLP Max than Clen. Clen is bad for your heart. It's bad for your health. It's not something I would recommend. It doesn't make you feel good. It makes it harder to sleep. And so isn't the problem that you're hungry? Like the people that are gaining all this weight, isn't it that you're hungry and you can't curb your cravings? Well, if you take GLP Max, you'll be less hungry. It'll be easier to put the fork down. Code Greg, 15% off. Envious of how little doses women need, LOL. 5 and 10 milligrams in comparison to men is a little dose, but for a woman, it is not. You may be thinking it's a very small dose, but remember this, it's 10 to 12 times stronger in a woman as compared to that of a man. So a woman taking 10 milligrams of Anavar could expect to put on the same amount of muscle as if you were taking 120 milligrams of Anavar. And so it is legit. And by the way, if you're a man, don't take 120 milligrams of Anavar. That's actually the smartest cycle for a girl I've seen a girl do. I would do 5 milligrams of Anavar instead and 5 IUs of GH. Please don't read comments from morons in the comment section and copy what they're saying. Oh, it's the smartest cycle I've ever seen a girl do. Really, 5 milligrams of Anavar for the first cycle, that's the smartest cycle you've ever seen. No one has ever done that. How about 2.5 milligrams of Anavar? Is that smarter? What about 5 milligrams of Osterine? Is that smarter? What about doing Turk Builder Max? What about, I could list 1,000 things that's smarter. And your suggestion is to use 5 milligrams of Anavar and 5 IUs of growth hormone next? How on earth do you think that's healthy? You want women to start injecting 5 IUs of growth plus 5 milligrams of Anavar daily as a cycle? What's wrong with you? Sorry, I missed your 20 calls, 15 texts, and voicemail of you begging for me back. I was busy smoking a joint at a mansion in West Hollywood. Oh, I hate men, I hate dating white monsters. Now I drink the white monsters. I'm just smoking a joint in some mansion in Hollywood. See, women, this is the problem. You have a man who maybe he's a good man and he's trying to get you back, and instead you find some rich guy that doesn't give a shit about you, doesn't want to be with you. You really think this multi-millionaire in a mansion that's giving you a joint or whatever actually likes you? He doesn't like you. Perhaps you'll let him hit once or twice and then he's going to move on. He doesn't care. You are doing this to yourself. Why don't you start dating somebody in your own league? Then you go out and hang out with Togi and post about how men are horrible creatures and that everyone should just use steroids and get jacked and not date anyone. Just what? They shouldn't date anyone? They should just sit at home and yank to watching your stupid OF account? That's what you want people to do? While promoting performance-enhancing drugs. This is the image that you wanted to decide. You woke up and said, you know what I want to do in my life? I want to inspire people to not date other people, to pay for my OF account, and to abuse steroids, drink, and gamble. That's what you decided to do. Well, excellent job. 2,000 followers. Yay! Good for you. Wild. Do a lot of women in the gym take steroids? Her response? More than you think. Without question, she is correct. Many people think it's only the jack girls, the ones with the huge biceps and acne and the foreheads that don't have any hair, or perhaps they have crazy massive jawlines and they're shaving and they have a very deep voice and an Adam's apple and there's some growth in the downstairs. It's just bigger than normal. You're thinking those are the only girls that take steroids. No, those are the girls that take the largest doses. But those who take smaller doses, many are experiencing some of these side effects. You just don't know it yet. To each their own, but starting a cycle after 3 years is wild. Maybe start with your diet and training first. If you aren't gaining, you aren't eating enough. And her response, not for someone whose goal is an IFBB Pro card. I don't even know what to say to that. And so your goal is stupid. You just have a long-term goal that you know the only way you can get it is by abusing the shit out of performance-enhancing drugs. And for what? What is this pro card going to give you? Oh, my goal is a pro card. Yeah, I wanted to be a professional baseball player when I was 5, but I wasn't about to travel to Dominican, leave Canada, and play baseball my entire life. Some things just don't make sense. And the person's response, thank goodness a few people make sense here. I think anyone with a pro card would tell you to figure out training and diet first before jumping on any sort of PED. I like the response to say, but sure, whatever, man, because that's what she's slowly doing. She's slowly going to turn into a man. I mean, the comments, essentially, I'm going to summarize the comments. Most people are saying, this is what steroids did, that's it. Like, look at you. Like, this isn't impressive. I would have thought 100% you're natural. But yet she even shows her before 108 pounds and her after 158 pounds. And so people are delusional. She's delusional thinking that an IFBB Pro card is going to mean anything at all. What would that do? You get to put IFBB Pro on your biography. Let's see what you put right now. It says athlete MT-ATX. Code live. I'm not real. You get to then say IFBB Pro at what? Bodybuilder? What are you going to then do? Let's see. She's probably a friggin' OF person. Olivia Martin, Venmo, Livy Jewel, and then what's this like? Peppermint heart, black heart. What is that? Oh. Hey friends, I'm 22 and I love the gym. My favorite food is sushi. Okay, as if anyone cares about her favorite food or that she loves coffee or that she loves being a little weird girl. All copyright content, $10 per month. 38 posts. And so there it is. She's trying to be famous so that she can make money by showing you her naked ass. That's why she wants a fat ass. Okay. She's got 2,000 followers, and so remember Togi said, you know, I wanted to get famous, so I used steroids, and then I bragged about it, and so she's copying the Togi model. She's the female Togi. Maybe she'll start gambling more often. And I mean, I'm sorry, like, she's showing herself injecting. How is this even allowed on Instagram? Half the time I show anything, they shadow ban me. How is she allowed to do this? And let's just analyze the look of her physique. Does this look like she's a future IFBB Pro? She's admittedly done 2 cycles VAR twice, growth hormone, and these are the results. She's not lean. She doesn't seem to have a crazy amount of muscle. She looks normal. She doesn't look like she's blasting, like she has crazy genetics, like she's a future IFBB Pro. And so why not just clean up your diet? Stop the permabulk, 2,800 calories. Why are you eating 2,800 calories? And then she puts the little blue pill. Is this freaking Anavar? Is she allowed to show herself using illegal performance-enhancing drugs on camera, film it, post it on Instagram, and she gets away with it? I told the world I was using HRT and showed the vial I was using prescribed by my doctor, which is legal, and I got shadow banned. But yet she can do this. 500 milligrams as a female is insane. And her response, it's called being facetious. I'm not actually running 500 milligrams of test as a female. I haven't been tested a day in my life. Little bottle is HGH, big bottle is injectable L-carnitine. How many people do you think read that versus how many people see the actual post? Most people see the post and they keep going. Some people see the post and they write a comment, and then some people see the post, write a comment, and read your response to the comment to see what's actually going on. And so when you say, oh, it's just facetious, so do you think people give a shit? It's not called being facetious. It's called you're lying on purpose for a specific purpose to rage bait people into believing you're taking 500 milligrams of steroids. You think people just are like, oh, well, she isn't actually taking that. I know that she's exaggerating, that it's probably L-carnitine. There's no way she's actually injecting. Most people have no idea what a steroid looked like or what a milligram would look like or how much it would be. And so when you post 500 milligrams of steroids, 500 milligrams of testosterone, that is what they believe. You can't then say in a comment section the next day, type a bit below and say, oh, it wasn't actually steroids, it was actually growth hormone and L-carnitine. It doesn't cut it. I mean, why write this? Like, who are you trying to impress? Like, it's one thing if a man says it, you know, hey, you're always at the gym. Yeah, you know, rather than chasing women at the bars all the time, hey, I just go to the gym. I mean, I can respect that. But as a woman, no, I have an OF account. I don't chase men. I post photos myself where they have to pay to see me. The audacity of this woman. She lies about everything. All her posts are lies to clickbait people into looking at it. And then she gets mad at them if they think that she's actually taking the drugs that she says she's taking. And then says, oh, I don't chase men. Yeah, you're trying to chase you. You're trying to get them to pay to look at you. And who would do that? Like, let's be honest. Like, we're gonna have to pay to see this? Since when do I have to pay to see a 5?
Y'all will literally believe anything on the internet. And running 500 tests as a female is ridiculous and stupid, and I would never do that. But apparently y'all don't have brain cells and can't figure out the fact that I'm actually, what I was pinning in my shoulder is injectable L-carnitine. I have not actually touched test yet as a cycle.
Notice how she says yet. And so people are concerned. They're trying to help her out. They're like, look, you look very young. You probably made a mistake. 500 milligrams of test is too much. I don't know what coach you have or boyfriend, but we're trying to help you. And so a lot of men and women in the comments section trying to help this woman. And she just laughs at them. You couldn't figure it out that I was being facetious, that it was actually Anavar and L-carnitine. I haven't even touched test yet. But in every third post, it says to abuse Tren, to take Tren, to do test, to take D-ball, that your life will get better if you use steroids. And she has an OF, but yet she hates men. Who do you think is paying for this OF bullshit that you're posting? Men. And so you hate the men who are paying to support you. Make it make sense. And so try to stay natural for as long as possible. 3 years is not enough time to have a base of training. Try to eat a proper diet, put the fork down, be healthy, do 150 minutes of cardio a week. And if you want to use supplements, consider HTLT supplements. We have the best supplement line in the world, bar none, better than anyone else. If you're interested in Turk Builder Max or Turk Platinum, you can of course get those. Trying to diet, lose weight, GLP Max. And if you want to get your blood work done and have a doctor prescribe you proper medications, pharma grade at extremely low prices. I'm talking about lower than anywhere else I've seen. I've partnered with and I'm a part owner of Algo RX. And so if you're interested, click the link in the description, enter code Greg, you can get 10% off. And remember, you shouldn't abuse steroids. But if you are going to use performance-enhancing drugs of any kind, you need to do it as safely as possible. You need to have a doctor tell you and explain to you the dangers, what you're doing, and so on. Don't look on the internet and follow these morons that don't know what they're doing and they're just saying and throwing things out there, hoping to get famous. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Please like the video if you liked it. Don't forget to watch one of those 2 bloops. The cookbooks, the training books, the Circle Diet book, everything on the website. Code Greg, 15% off. And until next time, I am out.